Welcome to Zim-Mega Projects, a documentary series that seeks to showcase the new developmental projects under the Second Republic. The focus today is the Marula Mafuta plant in Mwenezi. Under the Rural Development Agenda, the Marula project is a landmark and game-changing investment that has put the rural area on great change, employment and Marula products. Mr. Chitanga gives us a background of the area before the construction of the plant.
Mina Ngoveni, Gaven Chitanga. That's my name. We are in Mwenezi district. Mwenezi district stretches from Lundi River to Bubi River. It is an area of the Shangani-speaking people. The bigger part of it was taken by the colonialists and converted into farms in 1960.
Rutenga is a village in the province of Masvingo, and it is the de facto capital of Mwenezi district. There are unverified claims that the name Rutenga is derived from the corruption by locals of what the Rhodesian settlers called root anchor, given its central position to access South Africa and Mozambique. Economically, Rutenga is an important portal for economic and demographic growth for southwest Zimbabwe.
When the new dispensation came, we were asked, we were told, nobody is being left behind. Marula, the mega project which is there, is a plant that is precisely for the Shangani people. This is the plant we use for our rituals when we talk with our ancestors. We use the Marula plant. When we are talking to our ancestors, we do it under a Marula tree. But the Marula tree under which we do it is a Marula tree that does not produce the fruit. A male one, not a female one. So we select the male trees, and it is from that male tree that we perform the traditional function of telling our ancestors that the Marula plant is now ripe, and the bukanyi bulakutanwiwa, loko bunwiwe. Everybody now, when we have performed that ceremony, everybody is now free to go and pick and prepare their Marula.
Mwenezi is one of the dry districts within the country and is one of the areas that is benefiting from its natural resource after the National Biotechnology Authority of Zimbabwe built this processing plant. The plant was commissioned by President Emmerson Mnangagwa, and the community is already benefiting from its fruits. The Second Republic is placing emphasis on innovation to achieve rural industrialization.
It is with honor that we welcome you all to Mwenezi Marula Valley Edition plant, which is a plant that was launched by our Excellence, His Excellence Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, who is the President of Zimbabwe. The project started in 2020 from idea to conceptualization, whereby our CEO, Dr. Dexter Savaje, was actually responsible for identifying a gap in this district, Mwenezi district, where a lot of Marula fruits were abandoned. They were left to be eaten by the donkeys and the goats that were around. And the local people were actually utilizing them for production of our traditional wine known as Mukumbi locally. But nothing was done to commercialize this project. So this led to the launch of this factory that does almost 50,000 liters per season of Marula wine. So basically what we do at this plant, we receive Marula fruit from the farmers. So basically I'll take you through from what we do here. First of all, we receive the farmers from the gate. So that is where we receive the farmers. They come with their scotch cards. So they have to be registered by the gate. They have to be registered. So they are given what are known as vendor numbers. So from this registration, we are able to track the farmer's scored, so that we'll be able to have the grade of that farmer, to process the money of that farmer. So basically at the gate, we take a sample from the coach cards, so that we have a representative sample that we give the grade of the overall fruit that comes in. From that gate, the farmer moves in with the fruit inside. Then we are able to weigh the fruit from this grading area. So during the season, what we normally do, we have what are known as seasonal workers. Per season, we employ about 120 workers, which are local people from Mwenezi. So basically, we have actually managed to reduce unemployment in Zimbabwe to a certain extent.
Rural industrialization aims at all-round development of an area, as well as the people living in such areas. The effects and advantages of rural industrialization in rural areas is also a means to absorb labor in rural areas, to minimize excessive urbanization, and to diversify the rural employment and increase the regional development.
However, our expansion is that if we can upscale everything, at this plant we will be able to actually employ over 500 people. So basically in this grading area, if we receive more fruit than what we received this year, because this season we actually received about 1,115 tons of Marula fruit from the local villagers, whereby they were actually coming from their homesteads and selling their fruit. So basically we're buying the fruit from 10 cents per kg for the A grade. B grade is actually 8 cents. C grade is 6 cents. Then we have the D grade, that is 4 cents. Then we have the rejection grade, but basically we'll be buying the 50 kg bag at 60 cents per kg. So we take whatever comes in with the farmer, so that we can actually process whatever comes in with the farmer.
Ms. Makore takes us through the processing of the Marula fruit all the way up to packaging.
So basically from that grade, you have to get what is known as the net weight. From this, after grading, we give the farmer the net weight. Then the net weight, depending on the grade, we give that farmer the money that is owed to that farmer. And this year we're actually paying cash for all our farmers in Mwenezi, so that we could actually improve their livelihoods here in Mwenezi. So when we actually receive everything, we store our crates in the grading shed. So basically, we are off season now. This is our grading shed. So for this season, we would actually grade everything here, store everything here according to the grade that we have received. The A grade will be actually stored in their own area, the B grade and the C grade. So from that grading system, we also process according to the grade that we receive the fruit from. So I'll take you through the process of what we do here for processing of the fruit after we have stored, so that we can actually have so many products like the wines, the juices that we have for this season. For this year, we're actually doing some wines, but in the near future, we want to do some cream liquors. We want to have wine that has been matured for more than a year, because our wine now is actually 8 months old. So we do have that, and it's available for sales. So we have the dry wine and we have the sweet wine. We also, next year, we want to do a lot of these fruit bars, so that we'll be able also to utilize the peels that we extract from the fruit itself. This is our washing area. This is our washing trough. This is the washing trough that we use for washing. So basically, we wash the fruit that comes in with with potable water. Potable water is the water that is safe for washing the fruit, so that we remove all contaminants and all dust that comes in with the fruit. So we wash when we receive the fruit, then we wash when we want to also process the fruit. So this is our washing trough that we use. So basically this is done, this is a dirty area. So when we have finished washing, I'll let you through the clean area production so that you can appreciate the processing of the Marula fruit itself. This is the washing area. The inlet is actually outside, then the outlet is actually inside. So the fruit rolls in from outside and it is dumped into this escalator. The escalator now lifts the fruit from this point and dumps it into the pulper machine, the coarse pulping machine. So basically, I will show you how it works. So the fruit goes in this, the bucket elevator. It goes up and it dumps into the hopper for the big pulping machine. So basically, this is what we do. So from this area, there is actually no human interaction, so it actually is safe for consumption as well. So from this point, that is how we convey the fruit into the coarse pulping machine. So basically, we have operators that operate here. We have the escalator operator. We have also have the pulper machines operators. So I think I'll take you through from this point. It dumps at the top. As you can see, the fruit will be dropping at the top there. So it dumps at the top there. Then this is actually a coarse pulping machine. So basically what it entails that is we remove the peels from the kernels. So these are outlets. So as it will be rolling, this section, the pulp comes out. Then the stone and the peels, they are going this way. Then the stone and the peels, they are graded, and we do drying for the stone so that we'll be able to extract the nut from the stone. So basically, the drying of the stone, I'll show you it's outside. So from this area, this goes into its way. It goes to the drying beds. Then we collected the pulp from this point. When you collect the pulp, because this is a coarse pulper, we have to have some more refining. We now move to the finer pulpers. So we have two finer pulpers at this plant. We do fine pulping. Then after that fine pulping, we have the final grade of the pulp. From this area, because this whole process has been actually exposing the fruit for a further deterioration, we need to pasteurize the pulp. So from this section, we have to move to the pasteurization area. The basic objective of pasteurization is to inactivate pathogens and also limit enzyme activity. As we all know that the wild fruit, Marula fruit, it has got many wild yeast, so we also need to stop the fermentation so that we can actually have our controlled fermentation that we carry out here. So basically is what we do. So the pulp we stored in this area. It is actually pumped into the pasteurizer. Then we can actually collect the pulp. So the pulp is two phases. It said that we pasteurize and we have some preservatives. That is the pasteurized pulp. We pasteurize, then we also do some fermentation. So there are two ways of doing it. However, we have been storing our pulp. So we have stored over 45 tons of pulp for this season. Because we received so many fruits for this season, but our machines were at low capacity, we are also increasing our capacity so that we'll be able in the next season to process at least 30 tons of fruit per day, so that we'll be able to store as much pulp as we can. Then our target for next season is that we target to produce at least 1 million bottles per month of wine. So we are going to have the beverage side where we do the Marula juices for everyone to take, that will be carbonated. And also we are also going to have the alcoholic side where we do our wines, our cream liquors, and our dry and sweet wines as well. But not forgetting, there are also people who don't actually take the juices. We are also going to have a lot of these non-alcoholic beverages in the processing line. So of interest, we want to make sure that we utilize as much fruit as we can, because according to all projections that have been done for this Marula project based on literature, we have seen that we can actually have more than 5,000 tons of fruit per season. So we also need to upskill so that we can actually be able to process everything that comes in. Once we have that pasteurized pulp, we can actually ferment the pulp into our desired fermentation products. So basically, from this area, we have stored our pulp in this area. We pump it in through to the pulpers. So it's non-res of pulp. It's non-res, that is the amount of pulp that we are going to use. We will be able to add a known amount of other ingredients so that we'll be able to ferment for 24 to 72 hours. These are small fermenters that we also need to upscale. So we have actually ordered more fermenters that will be installed before the season starts, so that we'll be able to produce those 1 million bottles, which is our vision for next year. So basically, once we increase everything at this plant, it means that we are also going to employ more people. We are also going to have more products that are coming in from the plant, and also more people in the value chain that can actually be able to have any beneficial ways of getting profits, and so that it will be a business that is viable for us. So that is what we have done. And once we have this fermentation that has been done, so far we have to stop the fermentation so that it doesn't continue. So we actually carrying out what is known as cold shock for fermentation, so to stop fermentation. So from this whole area, we stop fermentation, then we do our clarification, but we are actually using a lot of clarifiers, different types of clarifier, so that we have a consistent product. From that clarification, we are now able to add more ingredients so that we have our final product, which is actually the sweet wine, the dry wine that we have for this season. However, this is not only done by Tendai herself. This is a team of so many people. We have the pulper operators, we have the fermenter operators, we have the QC people, we have the SHE department, we do have the finance and every department that is involved in this whole process. Basically, from whatever process we will be having, in order to come up with these final products, it will be help from the quality control department. As I stated earlier, the farmer is given a grade, so basically they look at the juice content, the bricks, and the pH of the fruit when it comes into the plant. So basically, that whole process, whether it's going to be fermentation, whether it's going to be pulping, they will be checking for quality parameters if they conform. So basically, for us to have this product, is actually through the brewer's recipes and through the quality control department. So once we have this, the bottle will be labeled with the batch number, so that we'll be able to trace the date of manufacturing. So basically, we do pack into our lugs. These for these ones, for these big bottles, they can actually pack about 40 bottles per time, so that we can actually have this 750. That is the 40 bottle, which is actually the wholesale pack when someone is ordering. So because of that golden cap, this is actually a dry product. Then this for the white cap, this is the sweet wine product. So basically, it's the only difference is actually on the fermentation times and the sweetness of these products. So that's the products that we have. So we store our wines into our storerooms. So we have got about 3 storerooms here where we store this final product. So once the QC has actually passed this product so that it will be dispatched, we are able to dispatch this product for sale. So basically, we do hold a lot of stock here. Available, we have got about 32,000 bottles for selling. Then we actually be blending more since we are out of season. So this is what we have. And this the kinds of storeroom also what we have. So we have different types of lugs, but this is the standard one that we use. And we do have the storeroom that is holding about 6,000 bottles by this side. So basically after that bottle filling, we store into our lugs. So this is one of the storerooms where we keep our beer. As you can see, it's dark, so the wine doesn't need light, so it's actually stored in a dark place. This is one of our storerooms. This storeroom is actually holding about 6,000 bottles of 750 ml in this storeroom. So that is one of the storerooms. So basically all storerooms that we have here of this same size, we store about 20,000 bottles at a time. So that's how we are doing the storage here at the plant. Then we dispatch as we go along. Then we do factory sales. We also need distributors for our products. Please come through to the plant so that you can actually get your distributor cheap products. Everything is ready for any compliance. I think we are compliant for everything. Basically, from the pulping process, we have the pulp as the end product. We have the stone and the peel. So we have to remove the peels, then separate them from the stone. The stone is now shifted to the drying bed. We actually do the normal process of drying, which is actually what we are doing here. So this is the drying bed that we are actually using. We use the ground as the drying bed. So when it dries, the termites have to do their normal decomposition of the kernel. So from the kernel that is dried, we weigh them, then we pack them in the sacks. Also, all those sacks that are there, they are full of dried kernels of Marula.